From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
As we go into a midday of Sunday afternoon, a third wave of stimulus checks are going out. But is that all the checks? And will they be landing by direct deposit? Or will they be landing in the mailbox? And why has the White House yet to update us? The president told us $1,400 third stimulus checks would land within 10 days. Those 10 days have come and gone, and they've not landed. And why did a series of correspondences between Treasury and also Social Security get little of updates yesterday, the day before, and the day before that? And why tomorrow may be the big day to learn where those missing stimulus checks are? How many missing stimulus checks of the third stimulus package have yet to be delivered? The White House just yet to tell us. I have the breaking details. As this president assures Americans that stimulus is on its way. But next week, the president delivers a fourth stimulus package. And in a new video from Chuck Schumer, we hear what the president looks to do in that fourth stimulus package. And why a new bill from a Democrat may cast light on what reoccurring stimulus checks should do and shouldn't do. And meantime, there's questions about whether taxes will be raised. Elsewhere, big news from SBA, as SBA opens one of the things you've been wondering about. And how soon could you get that money? Meantime, is that Representative Neal Letter off bounds and misunderstands the situation of stimulus? I have all the big news as we go into a noonday recording. Your $1,400 third stimulus checks will land. The question is when. And I have all the details starting right now on Noontime LALATE. Hey, good noontime, everybody. It's LALATE. How are ya? It's a big Sunday noontime as the Sweet 16 is upon us in the NC2As with UCLA and USC playing in just a few hours. And how are ya? It's a very exciting day as $1,400 third stimulus checks will land next week by direct deposit and also in the mail. I have all those great details as well. I'll tell you where and when if you're on SSI and SSD. I'll have where and when if you're on the Direct Express card. I'll have where and when if you're not on benefits. And I'll have where and when you should see all the details. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss a single day, single minute, or a single video across the board because there's breaking details by the minute on this channel. Also, like this video. Let's see if we can do 2,000-3,000 likes. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. You know, if we look back over the last 2 weeks, what were we told? We were told in that video from the president that's still on his website that millions of Americans would get their stimulus checks within 10 days. It didn't. He said that the stimulus checks, 100 million have been delivered. There's no confirmation that they did. And that millions more are about to land. Very vague statements and not much indication. We then had the claim that 30 million checks were missing that were only for people on benefits. And we as viewers know that viewers not on benefits are also missing their stimulus checks. And in one of the videos before this, I asked, did anyone have problems with that first or second stimulus check? And viewers did. Some viewers did. I know for a fact that a lot of viewers had problems getting either the first or second stimulus check on time. So where is this third stimulus? And what will happen this week? Here's how we have to sort of realign our thought processes and focus in. And these are all exclusive details you're only going to hear on this channel starting right now. First, Some viewers will receive direct deposit of a $1,400 third stimulus check in their big bank accounts this Wednesday, March 31st, without any prior warning or out any prior alert. Why? Because a third wave of stimulus checks went out on Friday, this channel can report, and the new effective date of these stimulus checks is March 31st, this channel can report, and that deposit will be available on March 31st without any prior notification to you. This channel can exclusively report. Now, some viewers have already received these funds available now, and other viewers may receive the funds over the next few days before the 31st. This channel can report. Viewers from NetSpend, MetaBank have gotten the funds on Saturday in advance of the 31st. Why does this happen? Because banks choose to sometimes release the funds before the effective date. They did that on the first time, on the first wave before St. Patrick's Day, and they did before the second wave before the 24th. Which banks, if you're a viewer of this channel, may release you the funds before the 31st. Those are Chime, Cash App, H&R Block Green, Emerald Card, and also TurboTax. But would a bank release your funds the day after the 31st? Yes, some may release the funds after the 31st. Who may also release the funds on the 31st? Direct Express. Has Direct Express sent notification to some viewers of this channel that 31st is a deposit? They have. These are the banks that paid funds on the 17th. That's St. Patrick's Day, on Wave 1 on that Wednesday. These banks that paid on Wave 1 were Citizens Bank, PNC, Bancorp Chime, PayPal, NetSpend, Green Dot, People United Bank, US Bank, PNC. Also paying on that 17th were Capital One, Lake Michigan, USAA, Union Bank, MetaBank, Amex Bluebird, Navy Federal, BBT, Wood Forest, also Bank America, Wells Fargo, Chase, H&R Block, Green Emerald Card, and also TurboTax. A week later, on March 24th, also a Wednesday, these banks paid stimulus checks as well. They were PNC, Wells again, Arvest, US Bank again, also Chase again, Direct Express for the first time, Green Dot again, Citizens Bank again, BFA again, H&R again, Regions Bank again, and TD Bank again, who have paid third stimulus in advance of this coming Wednesday, NetSpend and Benebank. There we go. So what you need to know so far is, one, a wave of third stimulus checks went out last Friday. Number two, it will be split between direct deposit and by mail checks. Number three, the effective date for the direct deposit is March 31st. So what is the effective date of the mail checks? That is April 2nd to April 5th so far. Now, the 5th was a new date that manifested itself last night as viewers got new updates from their tool, IRS tool, last night. So we're seeing the date is moving out. It was April 2nd on the Saturday, 2 days ago. No, 1 day ago. It was April 2nd, 1 day ago. Then April 3rd by the end of Saturday. And then by the end of Saturday, it was pushing out to April 5th for the mail checks. Who is getting mail checks? These are all exclusive details you're only hearing on this channel, and you're not hearing this data anywhere else. So this is why you got to really listen in and make sure you subscribe to this channel and like this video. The people who are getting mail checks, 50% of them approximately are Direct Express consumers. Or said in another way, 50% of people who are Direct Express cards consumers will not get the third stimulus check on the Direct Express card. It will be coming in the mail. You will never get an alert from Direct Express card because it's not on the Direct Express card. It's coming in the mail for about 50% of you consumers. Now, of people who bank at other banks like Bank America, Chase, how many of you are not getting it on the card but rather in the mail? About 50% of you as well. Where will the checks and what days will the checks land in the mail? I'll be going over those details in a second. Meantime, what you need to know is that checks just appear in the mailbox or the bank account without prior notification. They just land. And what's important for you to understand is not to be tied or pigeonholed or attached to one instrument. Don't say, oh my God, it's not in the direct deposit account. Guess what? It's likely in the mail. Oh my goodness, it's not in the Direct Express account. What's going on? It's likely in the mail. Understand there is a big push by Treasury to send things in the mail. What's in the mail? Either the check or a debit card. Now, I got to tell you, I fully expect it to happen again because it happened the last time. Under second stimulus, a lot of viewers threw it away. They threw it away. They didn't think it was a check. They didn't think it was a debit card. They thought it was junk mail. I got to say this very clearly. Do not throw it away. Go through the mail slowly and don't learn about this after the fact, because after the fact, it's too difficult to replace a thrown away check. The envelope is either white or beige. The envelope will have nothing of an insignia or a label on the outside. You will not see anything stamped from it on the outside that says federal government. You will not see anything that will say stamped on the outside that says IRS or Treasury. You have to just open it up, and in there, surprise, is your stimulus check. That is how discreet and non-obvious the envelope is. Again, it's white or beige. And with that, there's a lot more coming up in this recording. We're just starting off. But boy, Chuck Schumer spoke a little bit about your stimulus at the end of Friday and what is going on next. Let me explain what's going on next week. Next week is fourth stimulus heating up. Now, you know, and I know, I talk the truth. I don't pigeonhole and I don't give pie in the sky details. But I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you that as soon as this standalone bill came out, I gotta tell you, it became a field day of people to tell people, guess what? You're getting reoccurring stimulus checks to next year. Oh my goodness. I gotta tell you, this bill will never, ever, ever become a law. So if you hear anyone talk about this bill as though it's becoming law, turn them off in a second. Because this bill, while incredibly optimistic and incredibly inspiring, it's about as absurd can be. The bill provides that you get stimulus checks a year after the pandemic's over. Now, we even have a problem figuring out when the pandemic's over. It may not be over in September. It may not be over in October. But let's say it is over in September. They want to pay stimulus checks a year after the pandemic's over. It's never going to happen. One, the federal government doesn't have the money for it. Number two, the bill doesn't have enough ideas how to pay for it. Number three, no one is going to send out $35,000 of stimulus checks. Yes, they'll send out $16,000 of stimulus checks. Yes, they'll send out $12,000 of stimulus checks. Yes, they'll send out $2,000 to the end of this year, but they're not going to send out thousands of dollars every month for a year and a half from now. It's just... So if you hear anyone saying that this bill is becoming a law, change the channel. It ain't going to happen. Let me explain what this bill detailed. The bill starts normal and then goes off the rail to La La Land. It's from Representative Talib and Jalapal, who I think are trying to get a book deal because this is ripe for writing a fantasy tale. It says that you're getting $2,000 for the first month. Okay, that's logical. Next month, $1,000. Okay, that's logical. And then monthly payments going forward. Great, that's all logical until I get to the end of the sentence where it literally becomes fairy tales. Until a year after the pandemic's over. We're having enough problems getting stimulus during this pandemic. Why are we doing stimulus till the pandemic's over and a year after the pandemic's over? Never going to happen. The great news is that the sensible Democrats, who are about 100 of them in both the House and the Senate, have actually written the president saying we need reoccurring stimulus checks until the end of the pandemic, not a year after the pandemic. And that would call for stimulus to at least the end of this year, about 6 months, 7 months, $2,000 approximately, $12,000, $16,000. That's a little bit more sensible. Lord. But what is also a little bit off the rails, is this interview. And I got to tell you, you're going to see this interview later in this recording, but I got to tell you, when we talk about the fourth stimulus, you're going to see this bill literally be staying as stagnant news for a couple weeks. Why? When we talked about the CR in the stimulus, when this channel pushed for CR in the stimulus, you knew there was a short time frame to get the stimulus done in the CR, just a few days. Then, when we talked about third stimulus, we knew they had to do it very quickly in a certain time frame, but had to do it a certain way. This fourth stimulus, just get a large cup of coffee because it's going to be going on for a long time until it's done correctly. More about that in a second. But let me cut back to this third stimulus check by direct deposit, direct express, and by mail. $1,400 stimulus checks will be coming to the following people by direct deposit in a third wave, potentially. They are people who got the first and second stimulus check by direct deposit. 2, people who receive their monthly benefits for SSI and SSDI by direct deposit. 3, people who filed their 2020 tax return early to update their information for direct deposit. And finally, people who receive their direct express card every month, their benefits. Who would likely, then let's next question, who would likely not get a stimulus check this Wednesday by direct deposit? The same group. Yeah, because the same group could be heading to paper check. Nearly 50% of the viewers who receive stimulus checks 1 and 2 on the Direct Express card will not get it on the Direct Express card. Rather, it'll come by mail check. Nearly 50% of the viewers who got their first or second stimulus check on a bank deposit, Bank America, Chase, bank, checking account or savings account, will not get it there. It'll come in the mail. And finally, viewers who thought they could update their Social Security information, their information with their tax return, they still may get it by mail check. So what is the mail check date that you're going to get it? I'll have that detail coming up in a second. Boy, I got a lot more coming up in this recording, plus those videos from Chuck Schumer, that video from the White House talking about fourth stimulus and more. Stay with me as Noontime LA continues with big more updates coming up after this commercial break about your $1,400 third stimulus check. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right after this video, in which I jump into the live chat and interact with you and see the latest updates you're seeing for the irs.gov tool from your banks and from more. Thank you for joining me on Noontime LALATE. How are you? It's Sunday afternoon. Having a good day, crushing the weekend, not letting the weekend crush you. Coming up is UCLA and USC. Who are you going to be rooting for? That's the NC2A Excitement March Madness. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Let's see if we could do 2,000-3,000 likes. During the commercial break, one of the viewers dropped one of these comments. Let me read you what the comment said. Greg Cochran. Not true. Direct Express literally told me on the phone that SSI Direct Express will not get a paper check. Thank you for your comment. I really appreciate it. Let's assume that that's exactly what Direct Express told that viewer. It's categorically untrue. It's untrue. Why do we know it's untrue? Because you already told us, the viewers of this channel, it's untrue. In the video right before this, the second one on Mornings LA, I asked viewers who are on Direct Express card, Do you have a result from the IRS tool that it's coming on in the mail? And nearly 50% of the viewers who have a result in the IRS tool that use the Direct Express card have a result that a mailed check would land from Treasury. So there you go. There's been a lot of fake stuff across the board. And what you need to know is that people on Direct Express card literally have as a result on the IRS tool. Thousands of viewers on Mornings LA from the Direct Express card consumers have a result that it's coming in the mail. That overrides anything that someone says on the phone. Number two, we have the statement from Treasury last Monday that says 50% of Americans who got the first stimulus check by direct deposit, and the second one by direct deposit, not 50%, a large, was their exact word, was a large, would not get it by direct deposit. It would be coming in the mail. So you see along the way where certain people, call center operators, tellers, people you get on the phone, people in the corner, are just telling people untrue stuff across the board. Here's what you need to know as you start the afternoon. People who have direct deposit with big banks will also be getting in the mail. People who have direct deposits with small banks and credit unions will also be getting in the mail. People who are on the Direct Express card will instead be getting in the mail. There's going to be a little bit of everyone getting things in different places. Number two, if you filed a tax return, people who file tax returns have not gotten stimulus checks. People who use the non-filer filing tool have not gotten stimulus checks. People who are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits who use the non-filer filing tool in 2020 have not gotten stimulus checks. And people on SSI and SSDI who use the non-filer, who do file tax returns have not gotten stimulus checks. Meantime, people on the Direct Express card did get stimulus checks on March 24th. People on SSI and SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, got stimulus checks on March 14th. So you see a little bit of everything everywhere. And along the way, there's always some narrative that comes out that's not true. Among the narratives that's not true is that Representative Neal letter. In that letter from Representative Neal, he says that the only people that haven't gotten stimulus checks are people on benefits. That's not true. He also says that the people on benefits have not gotten stimulus checks because IRS doesn't know where you are, didn't know you need a stimulus check. We also know that's not true. In fact, it's actually laughable. Why? Because hundreds of thousands of viewers of this channel who are on benefits are in the IRS tool with a delivery date of a stimulus check, and they haven't gotten it. And then I have hundreds of thousands of other viewers on SSI and SSDI who have gotten the stimulus check. So the narrative that they don't know where you are is actually not true. The only thing that is accurate about the Neal letter is that people didn't get a check. That's about what's accurate about the letter. People didn't get a check, and you need to get the people a check. Why they didn't get a check is not particularly accurate. With that, let me show you a new video from the White House in which the White House is asked, what are you going to do with that fourth stimulus package? And are you going to use raising taxes as a way to pay for it? Let's listen in and see why this video was so poorly received on Friday with nearly 4-to-1 negative comments on social media.
Direct family member, a mother or father, and a different kind of adult, right? So there are steps that we're taking to try to expedite even the processing. So our focus is on actions and solutions. We certainly know this is a challenge. It's something he is briefed on regularly and is pushing his team to take more rapid action. Go ahead, Peter.
Thank you, Jen. The President has said he wants bipartisan support, I think, for infrastructure package as well. Mm-hmm. Is that possible when Republicans are pretty adamant they don't want tax increases? In other words, how can you achieve bipartisan support for infrastructure if Republicans are drawing a hard line on taxes?
Well, first I would say, Peter, that I don't think most Republicans think that the United States, one of the wealthiest countries in the world, should be 13th in the world as it relates to infrastructure. You know, roads that are broken down, infrastructure that isn't working, a lack of access to broadband, that's not a Democratic issue. And the president is going to continue to.
So far, she is accurate. Infrastructure is a very, very bipartisan issue. So far, her comment is accurate. But let's see what she says next.
Make that case. Now, we don't know what the votes will be. We haven't.
In fact, the president does know what the votes have been. The Democrats have already indicated to the president they would not support the bill if he does not have Republicans aligned to the bill, or if the bill does not pay for itself, or if the bill raises taxes. Many Democrats have already gone on the record in news reports or have indicated to the president directly they will not support the bill if it does any of those three things. Let's continue to listen in.
Proposed a package yet. And certainly what it will be tied to and the pay-fors will be a part of that discussion.
Also inaccurate. A series of news reports have actually indicated that the president will be raising taxes under the following guises. First, capital gains. Second, inheritance tax. Third, a corporate tax. And finally, wealth tax. And those details have reportedly been asked of individuals in the inner circle.
But he certainly believes there's been a history of support for investing in infrastructure. He has had bipartisan meetings in the White House. He's worked with Democrats and Republicans on getting legislation, getting steps taken in the past. And
also inaccurate. This is what Democrats have told the president, that they were unhappy that the third stimulus package was done with no support of any Republicans, and that they will not support another legislation to be passed the same way. What she's referring to is to his time when he was a senator over 20 years ago.
He's hopeful that that there's an agreement on that moving forward. Go ahead.
Meantime, how soon could we get an update from Treasury, Janet Yellen, about where your $1,400 third stimulus checks are going to be? That would likely happen tomorrow. The great news is that a week ago today was when we got the last major update from Treasury about where your $1,400 third stimulus checks were. The update was the following. 1, a second wave of stimulus checks went out the prior Friday. 2, that the stimulus checks will be landing on with an effective date of March 24th for direct deposit, which is a Wednesday. Number 3, Treasury said that some banks may release the funds before the 24th, but others may decide to release the funds on the 24th, depending on their banking rules. Finally, Treasury said a large number of people would not get a stimulus check by the 24th. Rather, it would come in the mail. Treasury did not give us a detail of how many is a large percentage. The viewers of this channel that have been polled since last Saturday, not yesterday, but the week before, shows about 50% of the viewers on this channel, including those on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, and SSA benefits, and those on Direct Express card, have learned that it's coming in the mail from the irs.gov tool. So when in the mail would it come? These are the dates that viewers have so far about the mail check date deliveries. March 26th, April 2nd to April 5th. Let me go over the April 2nd to April 5th first. The April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are dates that just manifested themselves yesterday. And some of them last night. Viewers were sending me DMs throughout the middle of the night and this morning saying, LALATE, you're right. It just updated itself and it now shows the mail check April 5th. So you see how there's a big wave of database information to be updated at irs.gov. Let's go back to that March 26th check. The March 26th check, a very, very small number of viewers got it ahead of time on March 23rd. Some got it on March 26th, and then very, very few got it on March 27th. We're waiting to see tomorrow, March 29th, if they show up tomorrow. That is one of the most important things we're looking for tomorrow. Why? Because there's hundreds of thousands of viewers of this channel who have a March 26th mail check date and have not gotten it. This includes people on Direct Express card. This includes people not on benefits, includes people on benefits. So this March 26th mail check date has become a big issue because there's a check result on irs.gov of a mail check and it's tied to March 26th. And people, hundreds of thousands of viewers, have not gotten this check from the 26th. It's not a small problem. Of the magnitude of people not receiving $1,400 third stimulus checks, this is the largest accounted portion so far. People with this mail date. Now, this is really big for you as well, because if you're watching it and you do not have a result on the irs.gov, and you also don't have a direct deposit alert, you don't have anything from your bank, you may be among those March 26 and may have not gotten as well. So this March 26 is a big one. It really, really is. We don't know if it's late. We don't know if it hasn't gone out. And we don't know if it's going to get changed. It has for some viewers, but not a lot. It has gotten changed from the 26th of March to an April date. This is what you need to know. When looking at that May 26 date, it means the following. It means the date in the corner of the check is March 26. Well, when do they mail it out then? The 26th does not mean it's mailed out on the 26th, and it does not mean you receive it on the 26th. The April 2nd does not mean it's sent out on the April 2nd or that you received on April 2nd. Rather, you usually receive it 1 to 2 days ahead of time before the effective date. Well, it's now 2 days after March 26, and people have not gotten it. Lots of people have not gotten it. So you see, there really is a big issue that needs to be fixed with this delivery. One of the things we're going to see when we're going into tomorrow is where is the magnitude of the problem, and why has the problem sort of manifested itself across so many different segments and so many different walks of life. What I want you to understand is you are not alone. We are one family, and as one family together, we're helping each other get through the information. If you see any new information that helps one another, that helps me report the news, send me a DM or post it to other viewers in the chat. If, for example, you hear something from Bank of America, or you get an alert from your bank, or you see a new update on irs.gov, share the information. Because when things start to pop, like kernels on the frying pan, popping into popcorn, when things start to pop, you start to see indications of things about to happen. And when we see those indications of things about to happen, we know where to look and where to pounce as Purple Hawks. It's a big recording. I wanted to cut to that Chuck Schumer video. Let me just show you a little bit. Well, you know what? I'll show you the Chuck Schumer video as we go into the next video on Noontime LA, in which I jump into the live chat, answer your questions specifically, and see what new data you have and what new results I have from viewers about the delivery times of this $1,400 third stimulus check. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss a single minute of anything happening today because, boy, this is one of those days where there's just so much happening across the board. With that, stay informed, stay focused, keep on smiling. I'll see you back in about 3 minutes from now as Noontime LA continues.